schools are kind of back, but hybrid, so we want to make sure that if kids need tablets for mental health issues, we can give them tablets. We want to set up some telehealth rooms where if people come in, they want to be in a telehealth room and still see a therapist, they can do that. So I was going to ask you, Amy, from a supervisor perspective, how is telehealth working in the areas you oversee in Lucas County and other portions?
It is working very well, and I, like Janet had alluded to, I'm getting reports from therapists that clients are sharing things with them that they had not shared in years with them previously. But when they're sitting at home and, in the privacy of their own home, in the comfort, on their couch or wherever they may be, they are just really comfortable. So, it really has helped as well with no-shows, because transportation is a huge barrier for a lot of our clients, and for them not to have to worry about the transportation factor, that has been really helpful as well.
So we provide behavioral health care, which includes assessments and counseling for individuals and families who struggle with mental health and addiction disorders. We received an FCC grant, and we are using that money to further support telehealth. We've purchased some laptops, we've purchased some tablets that our clients can use. We'll loan them to them if there's a need. We've been able to purchase some headsets and some other TVs and cameras just to be able to facilitate therapy and counseling that's really needed, especially with COVID. We've heard a lot about social distancing, and for a lot of our clients it's meant social isolation, which is not very good for our folks. Very quickly switched to telehealth. About 80% of our services are telehealth. Our doors have always stayed open, and we continue to do face-to-face treatment because of our medication and psychiatry. But since COVID hit, we went from probably 600 services that we were doing telehealth-wise to over 15,000. The grant was for $98,000, roughly. Deanna, we're operating in the capacity of a therapist, and Amy, we're a client. Right. This is basically how we would deliver therapy to our clients that might live in a rural area or even an urban area. They struggle with transportation, but we could now provide therapy this way. And like I said, we did about 15,000 services in the last 5 months this way. Wow.
Telehealth is one of the most important areas where we can make progress in this country. I was here in Ohio about a year ago with the congressman, and we were meeting with providers that were getting into the telehealth space. One of the first phone calls I got after the pandemic hit was from Congressman Latta. He says, is there anything more we can do? Can we move more quickly to support telehealth? And we were able to move very quickly after Congress passed the CARES Act to open up $200 million worth of funding. And Ohio saw 36 healthcare providers receive funding through that FCC decision, and we're with one provider today that's using it to treat mental health and behavioral health, and it's great to see the progress that's being made there. And we need to continue the work that we're doing to close the digital divide so that internet connectivity isn't a barrier to people accessing these kinds of services.